Sup nerds, and welcome back to the HWN Nerds YouTube channel. Today we're going to be doing a reaction video to another one of my childhood favorites, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from 2003, and we're going to be reacting to a two-parter, the Shredder Strikes. Sorry about that. That is a bit of a tongue twister. So we're going to basically, I thought that was the best one to do because it's the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles main villain's entrance in this show. And yeah, I thought that was a really cool way to do it. Now, I'm not super up on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles lore. I know a little bit about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles lore. I know the parallels between the creation of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and how Daredevil got his powers. So for those of you that are wondering what I mean, so there was an accident that created Daredevil. So there was a truck that spilled chemicals after Daredevil saves an old man from getting hit by a truck. Those chemicals splash him in the eyes, and that's how he becomes blind, giving him his powers. And then he's trained by a man called Stick and goes up against the Hand. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, there is an accident with a truck that spills the chemical mutagen, or ooze, that then leaks into the sewers. It also involves a young boy. That chemical goes into the sewers, mutates the turtles, and in some iterations, Master Splinter, who is already a rat in some iterations, he is Hamato Yoshi. That depends on what you're watching, and then or reading. When they're mutated, they get trained by Splinter and go on to fight the Foot. So you can see the parallels there with the Hand and Foot, and the way that they each come into being. So yeah, that should be that's a little bit of what I know from that. The rest is probably just going to be me watching this and kind of enjoying the nostalgia and commenting here and there on things that I know and stuff like that. So if you're down for that, let's get into it and let's enjoy. I do love the theme song to this. Like, it's really hard not to sing it.
Count it off! 1, 2, 3, 4, turtles! There's no one better! Watch out for Shredder!
Watch out for Shredder! Which, before this episode, I didn't get at all. My mum said, wait for Shredder. She was a big Turtles fan. And in the UK, fun fact, the original was called Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles. For some reason, the UK thought that if it was called Ninja Turtles, it would cause people to become more violent. So it was called Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles over here, the original cartoon.
I am funny? Yeah.
I don't think that was the right thing to say, Michelangelo.
A weapon is only as good as the arm that wields it, Leonardo.
He's saying it's not the weapon, it's the master.
My skill's the best it's ever been!
Yeah, your skills, not your weapons. That's what you're not understanding, Leonardo.
I guess Mikey would call it airmail.
I do like how the brothers are mocking each other. And obviously his brothers are tailing him because no good turtle left behind.
Yeah, he's acting like me.
He is acting like Raph, to be fair.
Now, another me would be a different story. That would be a good thing.
I mean, if you've read The Last Ronin, yeah, it would. It would be like an OP fighter. I don't really know much. I just know what I know from fandom, so.
13-1. That seems pretty unfair. I mean, there's only 13 of...
I love the cockiness of his brothers. That they just know Leo can handle that. Yeah! Right, I do have one question for my Turtles fans out there. What are Leo's weapons made from? Because, like, they're in the sewers. So you think his weapons would be more brittle than theirs?
Much easier to believe than you might imagine.
So, I believe it's this version that makes the Shredder a Krang. So, like, I believe they're extra-dimensional beings.
It is an organization devoted to obtaining power through crime.
Yeah, the Foot Clan, which is what you're running.
Pepperoni and sausage in a deep dish crust.
This is where I kind of got my love for pizza from, the Turtles.
Said that in the forging,
Kuwahara folded the metal over 700 times.
I do like how we get, like, Leo's special interest here, which is, like, ninja history.
He is leaving now.
So I think these are the Krang Guardians.
Leonardo has spoken with Saki.
That's his name as far as I know from the actual canon.
Everything Master Saki said.
Master Saki, what's up with that?
I thought we already had a master.
So I do like the brothers immediately calling him out for this, because Splinter is their master and father. So this battle between Raph and Leo is very similar to what we get in the TMNT movie. Except I believe Raph breaks Leo's swords in that film. Like, they go a bit more darker with it in that film.
So what are we gonna do, Leo? What I should have done in the first place.
And you can tell this is a kid's cartoon because of how quick they did the pivot from believing Shredder to go speak to Splinter.
One of the greatest practitioners of ninjutsu in many centuries. I was his pet rat.
So in this interpretation, he is the pet of Mato Yoshi, but in some iterations, he's the reincarnation of Amato Yoshi. In others, he's the mutated Amato Yoshi. I do like the interpretation where he's like the reincarnation or the mutated, as it makes sense in being a ninjutsu master. This one, I can kind of get behind because rats are intelligent, but it does seem a bit weird that he was able to pick it up by watching him without the mutagen in his system. But then again, we are going by comic book logic, so...
The foot ninja overpowered him.
They didn't overpower him, they tased him.
My efforts were in vain, though I did leave my mark.
And we've seen him in the present day, and he still has the 3 scratches on his face. It's kind of dark for a kid's show. Like, they showed the glint on the blade, which means you know what he did. I do like how the Foot weren't sure how we were going to answer, but already had their weapons drawn. The fight choreography is sick.
check it out! Nunchucks are not only good for playing the drums...
And their little kerfuffle over weaponry and everything is a good callback to the beginning of the episode. I do like the fight between him and the Turtles, because he's physically imposing, and has technique. Leo demonstrating he learnt the lesson by being able to defeat a guy with a sword using his own skill and not a weapon.
Council members, it appears the Turtles are against him.
I do like how this is all working. Like how it sets up the larger story with the Shredder. And how, like, he's kind of sent waves to wear them down before he makes his grand entrance. And there he is, in his full opposing armor and aura, the Shredder.
Against me!
And with that, I'm going to call this video to a close. So, I know it's only the end of part 1, but I thought I'd leave you hanging like we were as kids, and you'll have to wait till next week to see the part 2 and see if the Turtles prevail over the Shredder. Spoiler alert, yes they do. This is only season 1 after all. But let's hear it for this episode. I think it was a lot of fun, and you can see where later Turtles projects took inspiration, like the TMNT movie, with the fight with Raph and Leonardo, which I referenced during that fight, and things like that. I mean, Raph and Leo having fights is synonymous with the franchise, but I feel like that exact fight kind of mirrors each other. And they weren't that far apart, 2003, and I think it was 2009? Let me look that up. So this one, it was 2007, so yeah, they weren't actually that far apart, which is why I think there's a lot of mirroring with it. They were probably the adaptations that were closest to each other at the time, so you get a lot of things pulling from each other with those two. Obviously, they were also pulling from the same source material, but I do feel like that fight and that fight were kind of mirrored, and I do think it is because this was 2007 and this was 2003. So, like, there was only a 4-year gap. Like I said, Raph and Leo going at it is nothing new. They even poke fun at it in the episode, so... But the rest of it, I think, was really good. Like having the Shredder try to recruit Leonardo, having Leo act like Raph, and the guys call that out, and then getting Splinter and Yoshi's backstory. Really fun, and I think this episode was really good setup. I think the meat and potatoes is going to be next episode. I think this was a really good setup episode. I think that's the best way to put it. But, yeah, let me know in the comments what you guys thought. I really do think that as a setup episode, this one does hit it out of the park and still has enough action, be a Saturday morning cartoon. But I do think that this one was the filler of the two-parter. Like, we needed the background to kick into gear the Shredder fight. We couldn't just introduce Shredder. I mean, you could have, but they wanted to build Shredder up. And they did that in a way by using this episode to give us the lore and give us his connection to Splinter and his like connection, and then lay breadcrumbs for more of what they were going to end up doing with the Shredder down the line with the Guardians and all that stuff. So also feel free to correct me in the comments if I got anything wrong about TMNT lore, or specifically about the 2003 adaptation of TMNT. As I said, I'm not a aficionado or aficionado. That is from the Kenko rabbit, so the aficionado bit sticks into my head. I'm not an aficionado of TMNT. I grew up watching the 2003 version and the 2007 movie. My mum also had us watch like the classic movies. She really loved those films, so we watched those. But I've never really dived into the comic books or any extended media on TMNT. Let me know if you want us to do that on this channel, because I do like the Turtles, so that would be something I would be down to do. But yeah, with that, I will see you in the next one, and in the part 2 of the Shredder Strikes next week. So that should be fun. But as always, stay happy, stay healthy, and most of all, and say it with me, stay nerdy. Cowabunga, dude.